Mr. Beselamata Jose Angel, who is attending this meeting virtually. Technical Advisor for JIZ, Botswana and Sadc, Mr. Hile Mwemba. Commissioners of Customs and Excise from Malawi, Zambia, and Eswatini. All Sadc member states attending this ceremony physically and of course virtually. We have representatives from Angola, Botswana, Eswatini, Madagascar, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Lesotho, Seychelles, South Africa, United Republic of Tanzania, Zambia, and of course Zimbabwe. We also have business captains attending this event. We have the media, and I would also like to welcome our online audience who are watching this event on Facebook. Welcome to Malawi, the home heart of Africa. Please feel at home. And I would also like to welcome you to the venue of this event. This is Riles Hotel here in Blantyre. My name is Wadza Ottomani, and I'll be your director of ceremonies. We are gathered here to launch the Sadc e-Certificate of Origin, and the theme of our event is Enhancing Trade Facilitation through the Sadc e-Certificate of Origin. It's a historic day for Sadc, but it is also a historic day for the 3 countries which will be piloting the Sadc e-Certificate of Origin. So we are talking about Malawi, Eswatini, and of course Zambia. We have been processing the Sadc Certificate of Origin manually, and that has presented so many challenges. You're talking about delays and of course high costs of doing business, but that will be history, because today we are launching the Sadc e-Certificate of Origin. So this certificate will be processed electronically, and this will cut costs, and of course the delays which we have been experiencing will be a thing of the past. Now, as part of the program of the launching ceremony, we are going to have speeches. We're also going to have interventions from the 3 countries which are piloting the Sadc e-Certificate. So from Malawi, we're going to have the Commissioner for Customs and Excise, from Zambia as well, and Eswatini. And then later in the morning, we'll have demonstrations by Malawi, Eswatini, and Zambia on the Sadc e-Certificate of Origin. And at the end of the day, we are going to have a vote of thanks from WCO. At this juncture, let me invite the Sadc Director of Finance, Investment and Customs, Mr. Sadwick Ntonakunta, to deliver his opening remarks. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony, Mr. Waza. Good morning. Yeah, that's better. This is a great day for Sadc, unique day. Commissioner General of the Malawi Revenue Authority, Mr. John Biswick, Commissioners of Customs of Eswatini, Malawi, and Zambia, Director of the World Customs Organization, Eastern and Southern Africa Regional Capacity Building Office, distinguished representatives of the GIZ and the European Union, distinguished representatives of the WCO Secretariat, representatives of regional economic communities, distinguished representatives of international organizations, distinguished chairpersons of the National Trade Facilitation Committee, distinguished heads of customs, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. I am honored to welcome you to this special occasion of the launch of the Sadc Electronic Certificate of Origin. I wish to begin by stating that Sadc Secretariat has been working towards consolidating the free trade area guided by its vision 2050 and the regional indicative strategic development plan, the industrialization strategy and roadmap, as well as the regional infrastructure development master plan and the Sadc trade facilitation program. These high-level policy documents provide guidance for the targeted implementation and achievement of an industrialized and integrated Sadc region. Specifically, trade facilitation has impact on our trading communities, in particular for many of our small and medium enterprises. A study conducted by the OECD indicates that implementation of trade facilitation measures can reduce total trade costs by almost 10%. It also shows that if successfully implemented, trade facilitation programs promote regional value chain development, including increased custom productivity and improved investment, including attracting foreign direct investment. There is also a positive impact on government revenue, particularly for this constituency of revenue collectors. And with several countries having more than doubled their custom proceeds after introducing trade facilitation reforms. Sadc has developed and adopted instruments, among them the regional frameworks for electronic certificate of origin, simplified trade regime for small-scale cross-border traders, authorized economic operators, customs to business cooperation, and regional transit. These provide key principles for simple, effective, and modern custom procedures. We are convinced that if applied in a uniform, predictable, and transparent manner, these instruments and tools will facilitate international trade while simultaneously ensuring compliance with national laws and regulations. These instruments and tools are within the context of the Sadc Protocol on Trade, which is continuously being reviewed and updated to keep pace with developments in information technology, digital transformation, and advancement in customs techniques such as risk management, and to take into account the highly competitive business environment. Global trade is the backbone of regional and world economy, which in 2021 was valued at 28 trillion US dollars. Despite its importance, trading across borders remains the most complicated process, which is still dependent on hard paper documents. As the global trade environment is increasingly becoming sophisticated and new rules and regulations are emerging, and the role of customs and other trade regulatory agencies is becoming more critical. A cross-border transaction involves multiple actors and requires the exchange of several documents and multiple copies on average. And if these documents and processes are digitized, it can help in speeding up custom procedures at our borders. To keep pace with the rapid shift to e-commerce, the drive to foster industrialization and improve efficiency in serving the business community, implementation of the electronic certificate of origin is a notable milestone for Sadc. We view the implementation of the electronic certificate of origin as a significant step in securing the trading environment to save time and costs and increase transparency. The electronic certificate of origin is also meant to support the implementation of the Sadc industrialization strategy and roadmap in line with the Sadc regional integration agenda as outlined in the regional indicative strategic development plan, as well as the consolidation of the Sadc free trade area. Certificates of origin are legal documents that accompany goods moving across borders, certifying the country of origin of the goods and enabling governments, customs administrations, importers and exporters to track the movement of the goods. The Sadc electronic certificate of origin being launched today is fully integrated and provides a suite of paperless services, including e-application, e-issuance, e-processing, and e-validation of the certificate of origin. The electronic certificate of origin system has inbuilt security features such as online electronic certificate of origin authenticity verification, optical watermarking technology to distinguish between original and copies of the electronic certificate of origin issued, digital stamps and signatures of authorized officials, microprint to deter unauthorized reproduction of the electronic certificate of origin, barcode to ensure data integrity, public key infrastructure, or what is called PKI technology to ensure data security. A combination of compliance and security features aim to empower the whole of the supply chain network, both public and private, with some of the most notable and widely used best practices that enable a future of secure, trusted, seamless trade connectivity. By verifying compliance with origin-related requirements, customs administrations ensure protection against diversion or transshipment of consignments that pose risks or impede free trade agreements due to tariffs or other duties. It is in the best interest of both public and private sector stakeholders of the Sadc citizenry to push for ownership and implementation of the electronic certificate of origin in our countries. I therefore encourage all of us as key stakeholders to adopt paperless trade standards and domesticate them and make them a reality as we stand to benefit enormously from the implementation of the Sadc electronic certificate of origin. As I conclude, I would like to convey Sadc's appreciation for the valued partnership and support by the international cooperating partners, in particular, the European Union and the German government through GIZ in this area of electronic certificate of origin, but also in general trade facilitation. I wish also to express Sadc's Secretariat's appreciation for the partnership with its sister regional economic communities like the ESC, international organizations, in particular the World Customs Organization, the UNCTAD and the WTO. With these remarks, I wish to close here. Thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. Mucho obrigado. Zikomo kwambiri.
Another round of applause for Mr. Sadc Ntonakunta. Now, international cooperating partners have played a key role to see to it that the Sadc e-certificate of origin is launched, and the European Union has been providing financial and technical support to Sadc towards the e-certificate of origin and, of course, trade facilitation in general. Let me now invite the Deputy Head of Cooperation, EU Delegation to Botswana and Sadc, Mr. Besela Mata Jose Angel, who will address this meeting virtually. Mr. Besela Mata Jose Angel, the floor is yours.
All protocol observed. Well, I'm very happy to be here today, even if it is virtually, on behalf of the European Union, and welcome you all to the launch of the Sadc Electronic Certificate of Origin framework. So these days we have some changes in the EU delegation to Botswana and Sadc. We have new colleagues arriving this week, including a new ambassador. So I could not travel to Malawi this time. So it was a pity, but at least I have the opportunity to address you virtually. So I wanted to say that this launch represents a new step of the European Union long-standing partnership with Africa on economic integration and trade matters. Over the past years, we have worked closely with you, our partners, at continental, regional, and national level to contribute to support Africa's economic integration and boosting intra-African trade. You may have heard about the Global Gateway, which was endorsed by African leaders at the last European Union, African Union Summit in Brussels in February. And this Global Gateway, or with this Global Gateway, the European Union, together with the European member states, under what we call a Team Europe spirit, has reiterated its commitment to step up our support to African partners on economic integration and trade matters. This is fully in line with the Agenda 2063, and it builds on the continental integration dynamics driven by the regional integration achievements and the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreements, the AFCFTA. So today we are presenting this initiative supported by us under the EU Sadc Trade Facilitation Program, which was signed in August 2019. The framework of the regional electronic certificate of origin was approved in 2019 by the Committee of Ministers of Trade that met in Windhoek, Namibia. Currently, we have 6 out of the 16 Sadc member states having developed having started to develop a national module of the electronic certificate of origin, if my counts are correct. And of those 6, 4 of them are at an advanced stage. Some of these member states have been actively supported by our trade-related facility financed under the 10th European Development Fund to develop these electronic certificate of origin modules. And these are Namibia, Mozambique, and Zambia. I understand that in the last meeting in Lilongwe, South Africa and Zimbabwe requested to be included in the 3rd pilot phase of the electronic certificate of origin implementation. So I understand that the Sadc Secretariat will conduct additional training and awareness for customs officials and stakeholders on the regional framework for those additional member states with the EU Sadc Trade Facilitation Program support. So if we do the maths, and correct me if I'm wrong, we conclude that there are still 8 SADC member states that need to take action to develop an electronic certificate of origin. And let me today encourage those countries to do that soon. I could listen yesterday to some of the discussions that I found very interesting and very inspiring, and we will hear more about the countries piloting the certificate today. And I hope that all these experiences will give enough inspiration to those who still need to start develop an electronic certificate of origin. In our support to regional economic integration in Africa, rules of origin deserve a special focus, as they are a key enabler to trade and essential to determine the customs, duties, and taxes to apply on goods. But most importantly, these rules of origin show the economic nationality. They portray and represent the value addition of products at local level. They show the productive capacity and potential of local markets. So ultimately, the objective will be that African private sector is able to understand and apply the rules of origin to boost intra-African trade and also give visibility to African originated goods in the construction and development of global value chains. We have a new, relatively new element in the trade framework in Africa, which is the AFCFTA that I mentioned before, the African Continental Free Trade Area. This agreement gives an opportunity to think beyond the traditional approach to products originated nationally and go towards products originated in Africa. The EU has undergone this same continental approach in the framework of the European Union integration process. So we commend the efforts that such an approach would entail, and we welcome the important value of an initiative of this kind. The continental dimension may help address rules of origin from a holistic point of view, assess the multiple rules of origin that are applicable in partner countries, and implement those rules in a coherent manner. I am very thankful to those who have made possible the launch today, be it continental, national, regional customs institutions, as well as private sector stakeholders and other development partners. And of course, the World Customs Organization, to which I would like to express my appreciation for their expertise and capacity to deliver in very good collaboration with the EU. So without further ado, I would like to let other speakers participate and help us launch the SADC Electronic Certificate of Origin today. We will need to continue working jointly to effectively implement it. It will be a strong effort, and we want to reassure you that the EU will stand ready to continue our support in this process and continue to build on our strong partnership in boosting sustainable economic growth and trade on the African continent. So just wanted to thank you for your attention. Merci beaucoup pour votre attention. Muito obrigado pela sua atenção. Over to you, Masters of Ceremony.
Thank you very much, Mr. Besela Mata Jose Angel, who is the EU delegation to Botswana and Sadc. Now, apart from the EU, the German government has also been providing financial and technical assistance, and this assistance has been provided through GIZ. At this moment in time, let me invite the advisor for GIZ, Botswana and Sadc, Mr. Hile Mwemba, to address us. Over to you.
Thank you, Director of Ceremonies. Mr. John Biswick, the Commissioner General of Malawi Revenue Authority. Mr. Sadc Mutanaoka, the Director of Finance, Investment and Customs at the Sadc Secretariat. Mr. Besera Mata Ozea Angel, Deputy Head of Cooperation, EU, Botswana and Sadc. Distinguished heads of customs present here and those joining virtually. Distinguished representatives of the WCO and UNCTAD, may I simply say, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. As introduced, my name is Hili Mwemba from GIZ Botswana. However, on this occasion, I will make remarks as a representative of the German Development Corporation, or simply put, the German government. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, the government of the Federal Republic of Germany is pleased to join you on this occasion as you celebrate the launch of this important milestone, that is the launch of the Sadc Electronic Certificate of Origin. Therefore, I would like to express our profound gratitude to the host government, the government of the Republic of Malawi, and to the Secretariat of the Southern Africa Developmental Community for inviting us to join you to celebrate this important milestone. Indeed, it has been many years of hard work for the Member States and the Secretariat ever since the pilot on the launch of the Electronic Certificate of Origin was launched. And it is gratifying now to see that you are about to start reaping the benefits of this intervention for the benefit of the business community. Yesterday, we listened carefully to the positive stories and experiences from Eswatini, Malawi, and Zambia Customs Administration on the road that you have walked to this day when you are about to start reaping the experiences. It is our considered view that sharing such positive experiences is encouraging to those administrations that are yet to take the step to institute or implement the ECOO. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, the German Development Corporation is a firm supporter of the implementation of the World Trade Organization WTO Trade Facilitation Agreement. And therefore, our support to Sadc on the Electronic Certificate of Origin and also to other trade facilitation interventions should be understood within that context. This is because trade facilitation implementation promises immense benefits, even as Director FIC articulated in his statement. And therefore, German Corporation is committed to continue supporting you as our partners on the implementation of this intervention and many other trade facilitation programs that you have. However, to ensure effective implementation of trade facilitation, we believe in the principle of coordinated delivery of technical assistance. This is important because it helps us to avoid duplication and ensures value for money for the meager resources that are available against the many needs, development needs that we have to address. It is against this background that we had an excellent cooperation with the European Union on co-chairing also the platform for ICPs in Botswana, and we appreciate, Director, for this opportunity that we can work together on our side and on your side to deliver these interventions in a coordinated approach. We also want to thank the EU, who we have cooperated with, and other ICPs on supporting Sadc on the Electronic Certificate of Origin and other trade facilitation interventions. Your Excellencies, all of us in the past few years have been affected by the devastating impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The global economy is slowing down, and as a response measure to the challenges of the pandemic, some jurisdictions had to shut down borders. This inhibited trade, slowing down the free flow of essential commodities like food items and personal protective equipment for our health personnel. As the pandemic slows down, if there is any one lesson we can take from the pandemic, is that we should now build better and stronger by leveraging on technology to modernize the way we trade. We believe that the electronic certificate of origin certificate is one such example of leveraging on technology to revolutionize the way we trade. And that's why we think it is a very important milestone that we meet to launch here today. But we need more modernization project interventions so that we can move to paperless trade at the end of the day. And for this to happen, interconnectivity in the region will be very important. Your Excellencies, as I conclude, let me congratulate you once again on the launch of this important milestone, the Sadc Electronic Certificate of Origin. As German Development Corporation, it has been very encouraging to work with customs administrations in the region in the past few years. We can cite a few examples. For example, the intervention in electronic exchange of data for customs administration between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Zambia, between Malawi and Zambia, and now the electronic certificate intervention that is going on in Namibia. Every day, we see your commitment and ownership of this project, and it couldn't be more gratifying to us to work with you as our partners. And therefore, you can count on German cooperation to continue working with you in the future for these interventions to succeed. So once more, congratulations on this milestone, and we look forward to supporting you as you continue rolling out this intervention. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mwimba. It was in March 2016 when the Sadc Ministerial Task Force on Regional Economic Integration approved the Sadc E-Certificate of Origin as one of the trade facilitation initiatives. So it has taken 6 years to launch the Sadc E-Certificate of Origin since it was approved. No matter how long it has taken, the good thing is that we are launching the Sadc E-Certificate of Origin today. They say better late than never. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, let me now invite our guest of honor, the Commissioner General of the Malawi Revenue Authority, Mr. John Biswick, to officially launch the Sadc E-Certificate of Origin. The floor is yours, CG.
Good morning to you all.
Good morning.
The representative of the Executive Secretary of Sadc, Mr. Sadwick Tonakunta, who's Director of Finance, Investments and Customs at Sadc. Mr. Becerra Mata Jose Angel, the Deputy Head of Cooperation E-Delegation to Botswana, who is attending virtually. Mr. Hile Mwimba, Technical Advisor for GIZ, Botswana and Sadc. The Executive Director of Corporate Services at Malawi Revenue Authority, Mrs. Agnes Katsonga Piri. Commissioners of Customs from Zambia Revenue Authority, Eswatini Revenue Authority, and then Malawi Revenue Authority. Representative from the Minister of Trade, Ms. Charity Musozo, all officials from the Sadc Secretariat, delegates from the Sadc member states, representatives from EU and GIZ, members of the media present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Mulibwanji. First and foremost, I would like to welcome all our international delegates to Malawi, the home heart of Africa. I would also like to warmly welcome all those attending this ceremony virtually from all the corners of the Sadc regional bloc and beyond. And that is the beauty of technology, which we shall be, one of which we shall be launching today. To begin with, technology is revolutionizing the way we do things, and we are bearing testimony to this today as we launch the Sadc e-Certificate of Origin. The certificate is intended to simplify customs procedures and at the same time facilitate trade. The Sadc e-Certificate of Origin is an electronically processed and issued document by an issuing authority attesting that goods declared by an exporter conform to specific rules of origin. As you are aware, the Sadc rules of origin are a set of criteria used to determine whether or not the goods duly qualify as originating from a Sadc member state for them to enjoy preferential treatment under the Sadc free trade area. Over the years, business people and customs administrations have been processing the certificate manually by the issuing authority in the country of origin of the goods. This has been causing a lot of challenges such as delays and overhead costs incurred by exporters. Against this background, the Sadc Secretariat decided to replace the manual application and processing with the current e-certificate, whose launch we are all witnessing now. The new Sadc e-Certificate of Origin will, therefore, improve the way we conduct business in the region. This is because the challenges that were associated with the manual processing of the certificate will no longer be the order of the day. The new automated or digital certificate will make life easier, convenient, safer, and faster, thus creating a conducive environment for trade facilitation among businesses in the region. For instance, with the Sadc e-Certificate of Origin, exporters will no longer be required to physically go to the issuing authority for application and registration, as these services will be accessed online. Similarly, with the e-certificate in place, the issuance of certificates and the authorization process, which includes the registration of exporters, stamps, and signatures, will be done electronically. This will significantly reduce the time taken and the costs that businesses use to incur when applying for the manual certificate, as alluded to earlier on. The electronic system will also allow manufacturers, producers, and exporters to electronically register their products for preferential treatment and apply for certificates of origin whenever there's an export shipment. In summary, therefore, the introduction of the Sadc e-Certificate of Origin will increase the seamless flow of intertrade across the Sadc region by eliminating impediments caused by the manual process that has been archived from this today. Let me assure the Sadc Secretariat that the management of the Malawi Revenue Authority will adopt the new system in order to improve our ranking in the Ease of Doing Business Index. By the way, currently Malawi ranks 109 out of 190 countries, which is not good enough. We feel we can do better as a country. One way of achieving this is by adopting new technologies such as the Sadc e-Certificate of Origin, so that we can ably facilitate intra-regional trade for the benefit of the people of Malawi and the Sadc bloc as a whole. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to add that the introduction of the Sadc e-Certificate of Origin has come at a time when MRA is adopting modern technologies with a view to reduce the cost of compliance and tax administration. For instance, the Malawi Revenue Authority is implementing an integrated tax administration system, which we have called it Amsonk Online, through its modernization drive. The idea behind is to automate our services, more particularly under the Domestic Taxes Division, and enable the taxpayer access various services. These include tax registration, submission of tax returns, application of tax refunds, and other services in the comfort of their offices or homes 24/7. Let me also add that the introduction of the Sadc e-certificate of origin is in line with the country's domestic revenue mobilization strategy, DRMS for short, for 2021 to 2026, and also the MRA Corporate Strategic Plan for 2020 to 2025 that advocate for adoption of new technologies with a view to serve the customer better. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm aware that the Sadc Secretariat is implementing this Sadc e-certificate of origin on a pilot phase in Eswatini, Zambia, and here in Malawi, before rolling it out to other member states by 2024. On our part, we are excited and delighted that Malawi is one of the 3 pilot countries of the Sadc e-certificate of origin. We assure you that we are committed to ensuring that this pilot succeeds for overall national development. I therefore appeal to the business community in Malawi and the entire Sadc region, more particularly exporters and importers, to make good use of the system, which will reduce the cost of business and therefore drive growth in our various countries. With these remarks, I would like to declare the Sadc e-certificate of origin officially launched. May God Almighty bless you all.
Another round of applause for the Commissioner General, and of course for the launch of the Sadc e-certificate of origin. Are we happy that we have launched it? We are not showing it. We should be happy. This is good for business. This is good for business. We're going to take a 15-minute health break. During this break, we're going to have a group photo. The group photo is for the high table, and of course the commissioners of customs from Eswatini, Malawi, Zambia, and of course representatives of member states, and of course our international cooperating partners. So the group photo, will take it outside at the pool, by the poolside. That's where we're going to have that group photo. But we're also going to use the health break for media interviews, and of course there is tea at the poolside, so as others are taking the group photo, we can partake in the tea. When we return after 15 minutes, we are going to continue with our program, and we are going to have interventions from the 3 countries which are piloting the Sadc e-certificate of origin. At this moment in time, let's take a health break, and we're going to have a group photo by the poolside. Thank you very much.